So at this point, I think it's pretty safe to say that Hollywood has no more ideas. Like Hollywood, I know we've said this before, but I think I really mean it now. Like I really genuinely mean it because when I saw this headline on Twitter, I thought to myself, and I even tweeted out, I was like, can Hollywood just please admit at this point that they don't have any more ideas and that it's just going to be reboots from the last decades for the next decade? You know what I'm saying? Like the next 10 years is going to be nothing but reboots because that's all they seem to be capable of doing, and they're never as good as the original. Now, don't get me wrong. I was not a Twilight fan, okay? I'm not going to pretend like I was a huge Twilight fan. I did unfortunately see the movies and I was subjected to it. I honestly thought it was so bad that it was good. It was kind of like that segment in category, but I do think it was a pretty funny overall series. I know a lot of people took it seriously, especially teenage girls took it very seriously, but overall, the story was just basic for me. Now, with that being said, they're going to make a reboot of it. Apparently, Twilight has a TV adaptation reportedly in development with involvement from series creator Stephanie Myers. So they're going to be rebooting the Twilight movies. Yes, that's what they're going to be doing and turning it into a TV series. They're already rebooting Harry Potter. They're rebooting Lilo and Stitch. They're rebooting The Little Mermaid. They're rebooting everything because they don't have any original ideas anymore in Hollywood. That's just as plain as day. When you're so desperate that you have to reboot Twilight, you know you have ran out of ideas. So let's get into this article, guys. But of course, before you do, please consider liking the video because it does help push us out onto the YouTube algorithm. It says, in an announcement so well timed that it's hard to view it as anything other than an attempt to ride the coattails of Warner Brothers' Harry Potter Max series reveal, Lionsgate has reportedly started making plans to give Stephanie Meyer's Twilight series a television adaptation all of its own. According to sources for The Hollywood Reporter, the series will be penned by scriptwriter Sinead Daly, The Walking Dead World Beyond Dirk Gently's holistic detective agency, and see direct involvement from Myers herself. Said sources also claim that Daly is working with Lionsgate TV to determine what the specific take on Twilight will be and if it will be a remake of Myers' books or a different offshoot. All I'm going to ask, and I beg of you, we already know that you're not going to race swap Jacob. We already know because you're going to ride the coattails of that beautiful indigenous shit. You're going to ride it till the end of time. All I'm going to ask is, can you please just make one of these people black? Like, make Edward black or make, what's this guy? I don't even remember her name. Oh, Bella Swan. It says it right here. Okay, whoopsie. Goes to show how much I paid attention to Twilight. Just make either Edward or Bella Swan black. Please, can you give me that? Because if I review this TV show, which I probably would if it comes out, I need to see that. Like, I need to see something that's going to make me laugh and give me the vindication that I need to see this entire series through, because otherwise I'm going to fall asleep. So please just make one of them black. It says further, the series is said to not have any network or platform, as Lionsgate is supposedly planning on developing the project before formally accepting network bids. Per The Hollywood Reporter, the timing of Lionsgate Twilight TV adaptation announcement comes in the midst of rumors that the studio has been holding talks with a number of interested parties to potentially spin off its studio's business and premium cable network Stars by the end of 2023. Prior to the release of 2012's The Twilight Saga Breaking Dawn Part 2, Lionsgate chief executive John Feltheimer hinted to the studio could continue the series beyond the final installment, telling the LA Times, "It's hard for me to imagine a movie that does 700 million plus doesn't have ongoing value. It's an amazing franchise that they have done a great job of maintaining by absolutely no deterioration," he acknowledged. So the simple answer is, boy, I hope so. Well, it looks like they want to ride the coattails of the movies, even though the movies came out quite a long time ago. I don't remember when the last one came out, but I know it was a long time ago. And I think the only cool thing in this entire movie series was probably when Bella became a vampire and the whole scene of her transforming. I think that was pretty cool. Other than that, the entire fucking thing was boring, and I did not enjoy it, and I laughed at basically everything that happened, especially when he glistened as like diamonds in the sun. I thought that was pretty fucking good. So again, it's one of those so bad that it's good category movies or franchises, and I can see how they can make this into a TV show, but when I think of Twilight, especially modern day, I gotta imagine that probably the CW would take something like this. Like, this would probably be a CW show, because it's gonna be super woke. I almost guarantee you. It's gonna be very cringy, very much for teenagers, obviously, and I think the CW would definitely pick it up. Again, that's assuming that it doesn't go on their own network, but they did say they were going for network bids, so it all just depends. It says, in response to whether that included the possibility of bringing the Twilight series to television, Feltheimer reiterated, "I would certainly hope so." Then, during the company's 2017 Q1 earnings call, call, Feldheimer implied that Lionsgate would only go forward with fresh installments or spin-offs in the blockbuster series if they get the sign-off from Twilight author Stephanie Meyer. There are a lot more stories to be told, Feldheimer said to analysts, and we're ready to tell them when our creators are ready to tell those stories. As of this writing, there is no established timeline for when Lionsgate will shop around the Twilight series to potential buyers, nor have reps for the studios commented on Twilight's developments. So I think they would probably be best rebooting the entire series. I think that would be the best way to actually get them longevity in terms of a TV show, because there's a lot of books, if I'm not mistaken, with Twilight. I never actually read them. I only watched the movies, but there is a lot of books with Twilight, and I would imagine that there should be plenty of lore in there for them to be able to make as many seasons as they want as a TV show, assuming they don't get canceled after the first season, because that's also a very big possibility. I don't know if Twilight is going to have the mainstay that it had back then with teenagers. I don't know if modern day teenagers are going to want to watch Twilight like they did back in the day. Obviously, Twilight was huge back in the day. I'm not going to pretend like it wasn't, no matter how much I may not have personally liked it. I was a super fan of it. I know a lot of people who were super fans of it. They were so obsessed with Twilight. I remember when they were coming out with, I think, the third sequel, whatever name that was, when they actually got married and stuff. That was big in the movie theaters. A lot of people went crazy for that particular movie, and they were talking about it online nonstop. So the IP definitely is strong. I don't think it's Harry Potter strong, but it's strong. Whether or not it's going to be strong for modern day teenagers, that's a whole nother story in and of itself. They're probably going to have to make some modern changes, as we love to say, because again, that's what they love to do. But the story is pretty much a very simplistic story. There's really not too much craziness in it aside from the vampire stuff. It's a basic love story. So could they make it something interesting that people would want to watch? Yeah, absolutely. Will they probably make both of these characters black? Yeah, absolutely. I really don't know. It just depends. So I don't really think I'm going to watch this TV show unless you guys specifically ask me to review it. But I mean, we are so far away from this even coming into development that at least I don't have to worry about it for quite some time. And I have so much other stuff that I'm going to have to get ready to watch. It seems like the age for TV is going to be insane. Because if you guys notice, you got Harry Potter coming out, Twilight coming out. There is so much coming out to TV that it looks like everybody's going to be, this is the next bid, right? This is the next bidding war that everybody's having for attention. And all of the streaming networks are coming out with their own thing to try to fight and bid for your attention. So your attention is the biggest currency right now, and they're all competing for it. And I really don't know if Twilight stands any chance against Harry Potter. So for their sake, I hope they don't come out around the same time. But considering that they announced it almost back to back, they probably are going to plan to come out around the same time and do a kind of side-by-side like what happened with the Rings of Power and Game of Thrones. So we'll see what happens in the future regarding Twilight, but it's not something I'm necessarily excited for. Just give me a Black Edward or Bella Swan and I'll be happy. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy it. And if you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.